Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I have some exciting new ALTA things that I want to show you, some creations that I developed myself and with Sheppy5, who all of you hopefully know is one of my admins on my Discord server, as well as a long-time Stormworks friend of mine. Now we've been developing mini creations together and I do really like building with him. If you recognize the truck I'm in, that's good because this is already out in the workshop. It is my survey/engineering truck, and what it does is feature this little kind of bed topper where we can actually jump into, and there's a little bit of a kitchenette, bed and sink and stuff, and a little research center here. But Sheppy had the wonderful idea of supplementing this engineering work truck with this trailer. Now I developed the trailer, call it the framework of the trailer, it's my design, but Sheppy really made it awesome with all the tech that he put into it. So if we drop the ramp here, you can see it comes down quite slowly but realistically, and now we have the back entrance. If we make our way through here, you see there's some gear. If we make our way into here and turn on the interior lights, also the exterior lights here, you can see there is a large research station with all kinds of gear, and over here there's all kinds of equipment you can use, including thermal and hazmat outfits. Now if we press this raise mast button, check this out. How cool is that? Now Sheppy made this whole thing. I'm not going to take any credit for it, but I think it looks absolutely awesome, and it also fits perfectly in with the roof. When it's closed, it like drops into place and you honestly can't even tell it's there. So that's really neat. So again, raising that up, we'll put it like that, and now because all that's up, we can sit down here and turn on the data system, and boom, we get this awesome interface. We get a radar system, so radar that we know what's going on around us, and we have this massive camera with laser. This is not my microcontroller or Sheppy's, this is something that I got in the workshop. The link will be on the creation itself, but it does work very well. And check this out, if we zoom in here to this, you can see that's our hangar, and we can hit it with the laser, and then if you press this button, it actually shows us on the map where it is. So it actually identifies what it is we're looking at. Now in addition to that, we got a radio system, we got a little weather station, and we got some camera feeds. So in addition to the camera on the mast up there, we have 4 other cameras all around us on this trailer. Obviously the number 2 one is looking right at the truck, and then we got these other cameras. You can also receive video and send video, which is really neat, and I'll show you how that ties into another creation of ours that we've been developing as well. Now again, most likely you hopefully recognize my truck that I made with the hazard lights, but take a look at this trailer. This was also made by Sheppy in conjunction with me, mostly Sheppy in this case, and not only does it have a built-in generator, it actually has a light boom that you can lift up, you can raise the boom even higher, you can turn on camera, lights, and rotate it all around. So that's quite neat for any construction site or workspace. And of course you see the camera here, and not just that, there's actually a way you can remotely transfer the video or through the wired video port too. So that will be able to communicate with our main trailer over there and actually get us all kinds of signals and have us various viewpoints and eyes. In addition to the trailers that I made with Sheppy, I do have the Sealander that I also made with Sheppy, and you could see that it is a much larger version of the Baylander that was previously released. You could see the Amphilander is the amphibious version and the Baylander is the non-amphibious version, but then these are only rated for 1 cargo and 1 vehicle, whereas the Sealander is rated for 2 sets of cargo or containers or 2 vehicles, so it gives you a much larger space to store things And in addition to that, it has a large tank here, around 58,000 liters if I recall, so it can also be used for all kinds of transport missions. And if we just hop aboard, you'll get a feel for the size of this thing. Compared to the Baylander, this is quite large. So the Baylander is intended for bays, rivers, you know, that type of thing, smaller bodies of water, whereas the Sealander is a proper ocean-going vessel, maybe not for the deepest of areas, but pretty good anyway. Now we do have a lot of equipment, and it is repeated as you go down here, so you get more equipment, and it is the same. There's cargo winches everywhere, and in the back we have a towing winch. So that is the exterior of this vessel. Popping into the interior, you'll notice that there has been, well, obviously it's very different from the other Baylander. This one has a proper bridge, even though it has simplified controls. And if we go down these stairs here, you'll find a little cabin with a kitchenette, bed kind of for, you know, extended periods. There is an engine hatch, albeit you can't enter, but you could repair and see the engines. And, you know, just a little living space for those longer voyages. Now back up here, you'll see that this setup is very similar to the Baylander, almost identical. But what is cool here is that there is a ramp camera, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Other than that, there is an autopilot system. Now this autopilot system does not have auto throttle. All it does is steering. So you have to set the throttle, but it does calculate your distance and also guides you to where you need to go. So that is quite useful. Jumping into here, we could turn on our ship stabilization, and up here you have front trim, a rear trim, the ramps. We have landing wheels in the front that are actually quite useful for trying to get up onto land. That was a previously failed experiment. And what we'll do is we'll activate our ramp feed. Oh, well, that was too late. Because what needs to happen is this needs to fold up and this needs to drop, and the idea is that you can use the camera to determine when you're about to get on shore. This lights up when your magulls are connected, so this is the best way to get yourself on shore, and this is where we'll be able to load our vehicles up. The Baylander and this combination of the trailer and the exploration truck, in my opinion, are a match made in heaven. They go hand in hand and allow you to kind of go and explore lands, both with the vessel and then offload them and explore all kinds of places, taking surveys and such with this truck and trailer. Now what we'll need to do is try to position it as close to the center of the deck here. And what I'm going to do is just throw on the parking brake now. And once that's stationary here in the center, we could even turn the truck off. Now we have these magulls, and they do position your cargo in the center of the deck, and you could also apply the magull to kind of keep them secured. You could see even without the magull, they really push it to the center. But if we turn the magull on, they should ideally stay there. And then hopping into the bridge. Now yes, they may kind of click on or off, that's just the nature of the magulls. We'll turn on the ship stabilization, then fold up the ramp and bring it all up. And in this case, we're ready to throw it into reverse and try to disembark or try to take off. So you could see that even here, you could hear the magulls clicking on or off, but that's just sort of the way it is, especially with cargo that's loose. We could use our bow thrusters to move the vessel around. So it does end up quite neat with the capabilities that it does have. And now, if we're ready, we could take it out of reverse and go. Now we do have the front trim, which we could lift up to get the front to ride a little bit higher, but the trailer and truck combination are quite heavy, so This is still pretty good. And that's full throttle. We're getting around 17 knots. If we turn on our autopilot now, if I set a course to land like that and hit activate, you can see that it starts to steer by itself. So the only thing it won't do is bring the vessel to a stop. So you still have to be paying attention, and once you've hit your destination, you're going to want to throttle down, otherwise you're going to keep on going. But this is, in essence, what you can do to take your vehicle on all kinds of exploration trips and deliver cargo and, you know, just run whatever type of survey that you have to do. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more vehicles, stay tuned for more creations, stay tuned for more videos, and all kinds of good stuff. I do love making videos like this, making creations with Sheppy, and I have so much more planned. So stay tuned for all that, and until next time, happy Stormworksing, everyone.